Hey, good evening, everybody. So I got home earlier tonight, and I was sitting down at the river, and I was a little startled. This cat came up on me, and his name's Dirt, and he lives downriver a little ways. Anyway, he stays outside most nights, I guess. Anyway, he always looked kind of rough but healthy. But he reminded me of this cat I had. Well, I didn't really have it. It was just kind of part of the landscape, really. Anyway, had this barn I got, and I went to check it out, and I'd ordered some hay for it for the loft, and there was a cat living in there, so I just called him BC, barn cat. And there wasn't much in the barn, just some junk and a couple of nice workbenches and a big loft. And there were two saucers on the workbench, so I took them and cleaned them up, put water in one and Friskies in the other, and brought them back to him. Well, I'd ordered the hay, and I went back out to the barn just to make sure I had a good pathway, could get it done. When I got out there, BC was sitting on one end of the counter, and there's about a baker's dozen of mice sitting on the other side down by the pool in Tapas, apparently. And there was a vibe there that suggested that maybe BC was lifeguard of the day, and that he quite possibly knew them all by name. That seemed to be like how well they were all getting along. He'd put his paw up there and you could picture him saying like, "Hey, Cheeto, no running around the pool." "Hey, Marge, you gotta wait 4 minutes after Tapas." It looked like they had that kind of relationship going. It did. Anyway, he wasn't a mouser. And so the hay got delivered, and it took me about 2 days to put it away because promises made on Friday nights by bar buddies didn't pan out come Sunday noon, you know. Yeah. They mean well. So I got all put away. By the time I got all put away, a couple of days went by, and I went back out there, and there was BC. He was sitting on the counter again, and he was all swelled up. I mean, he was looking bad. His eyes were just beet red, like he got into a bag of good shit, but he had a lot of swelling that wasn't accountable. And I think what was going on with him. I seen a Shar-Pei puppy one time eat a whole Easter basket full of chocolate. He looked like a microwave raisin. I was like, no, that ain't it. I gave him some Benadryl, and it brought some swelling down, but not really enough. You could hear him breathing. So maybe he got into some hornets, I don't know. So I put him in the truck, and we went to the vet. And about 2 hours later, and $340, the vet looks up at me with a serious face. Yeah. Professional kind of guy. And he said, BC is going to need an additional shot once a year, every year for the rest of his life. And that's going to be $140 extra. And I was, okay. And I said, well, Well, what's he got? He says, hay fever. I just kind of had to sit with that a minute, because I write nicer than I talk. That's all I say on that. But anyway, so we got them all taken care of. I'm thinking to myself, I got a barn cat that doesn't mouse and has chronic hay fever. And I know the good Lord put you where he thinks, you know, you can do some good, but yeah, okay. You know, that's kind of like that. But anyway, he's a good cat. He didn't like it when it got hot, he had to come in. He didn't like it got cold, he wanted to come in. Somehow turned into an alcoholic. Yeah, maybe always was one, I'm not clear on that. I never did figure out what he ate. But anyway, I'm gonna write a song tonight, I guess. A little bit aloud. Try to figure out some chords for it. And you're probably wondering why I'm making this lengthy video tonight, because it's for my two buddies out west. They live in a veterans home, and hey guys. And this is how we chat. They'll put me on in a room full of their buddies. So, yeah. So let's get started. Let's try to find a song. And, as always, it is not myth or urban legend or urban myth. There's my candle. See, they say ghost story. I don't know. It's my friend Bridget Little, my candle maker. Oh, long live the Italians. Let's see. Well, we're tuned in D. So that's all right. Let's find some chords. Find some lyrics. Got me a freezer where the ice cream melts. Got me a barn cat who refuses to mouse. When it's too hot, when it's too cold, he comes inside and pretends he's old. He wraps around my whiskey bottle with a frown. It keeps me sober while I headed to town. Yeah, picking up his pickled herring and his crown. He's doing alright for a barn cat tonight. Some say he's just a cat. I say he's more than that. Yeah, that wild-eyed bastard's a friend of mine. You can see it in his grin when he finds his bottle of gin. Yeah, but don't try to pull him thin, or if you want to keep your eyes kept in. Yeah, got me a freezer where my ice cream melts. Yeah, got me a barn cat who refuses to mouse. Yeah, but that wild-eyed bastard's a friend of mine. Yeah, you can see it in his grin when he finds where I hid his gin. Yeah, but don't try to pull it thin, not if you want to keep your eyes kept in. Well, there you go. I hope everyone has a good night. That's a start to a good song, maybe. Hope you enjoyed the story. Good night, guys.